Good morning. This is Miss Maljevic. We're going to review some vocabulary words from yesterday. So the first vocabulary word we're going to talk about is qualitative observations. So if you see over here, what you can learn about the objects using your five senses. So you're describing something through your sight, your smell, your touch, your sound, taste. Okay, remember last week when we did What is Science, we did an observation. When we discussed what observations were, we observed something about Miss Maljevic. So some of us said that my hair was dark. Some of us said that I had dark eyes. Some of us said I was wearing a ring, a watch. So describing something using your sense of sight. The other observation vocabulary word that we're going to use is a quantitative observation. So what you can learn about an object by using numbers or measurement. So they're usually exact. So saying that, Miss Maljevic is 5 feet 5 inches tall. There are 55 pieces of candy left in a bowl. Those are all exact measurements. So I gave you guys a quantitative observation. Okay, and then an inference is the conclusion based on your observation. So inference tries to explain or make sense of the observation that you made. Now let's go into today's lesson, which is the scientific method. So what is the scientific method? Who uses it? Everyone uses it every day, even you. What is it? It is a way to solve problems. Do you have any problems to solve? Of course we do. Everyone has a problem to solve. Any of these sound familiar? Where are my shoes? What should I have for lunch? What class do I have next? Did I do my homework for that class? What is the cure for cancer? Which deodorant works longest? How do I log on to Google Classroom? Those are all questions that can be asked. So the steps of the scientific method, which today's Google form, you're watching the video on BrainPop. Miss Maljevic is going through the PowerPoint with you guys, and then tomorrow we're going to be doing vocabulary. And also tomorrow, we're going to compare the difference in the wording for the steps of the scientific method. As we all have already discussed, science in general, I should say, changes throughout time. So the wording has changed throughout time. However, the meanings still stay the same. The steps are still the same. So the steps are a question or problem. You're going to research information. So you're going to you're going to form, an inference based on the question or problem, and researching the information. From your inference, you're concluding based on your observation. You're going to form a hypothesis, experiment, procedures and materials, observation/data, and then your conclusion. So what you found out based on your experiment. Scientists develop a question about a problem that they need to be very clear in defining what they are trying to explain or solve. Research information. Next, they're going to gather information about the problem or the question. They can use books, magazines, reports, experts, your past experiences or prior knowledge, or everyone's favorite source of information nowadays, Google. So you're going to develop a hypothesis. What is the hypothesis? What you think the answer is based upon your gathered information and prior knowledge. A hypothesis is also an educated guess. It begins with I think, and then you're going to do your experiment. You're going to create and conduct your experiment. Every experiment has variables. An independent variable, dependent variable, and a constant. And the scientists have to take time to think logically when they're